just waiting for the guest speaker to be here. I'm waiting for Dr. His Excellency, Dr. Favor Ayodele. And here with me, we have ASP Ishaya and also Mr. Philip. So we're just going to be waiting to see Favor, and then we'll take it from here. If you're here, kindly write a comment, give us a thumbs up so that we know you're here. All right, I'm here. He wrote, I'm here. So let's see. Use this link. All right. I'm here. I'm seeing you. Okay. Favor, if you can see me, you can use the link. Let's see. Cynthia is here. Cynthia says, good evening. And Vision Africa, that's Dr. Favor. All right, it's here. Awesome. Okay, let's roll. And here I already have my two wonderful people. You're welcome. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fantastic.
All right, I'm just setting up our other people here so that they can be viewed. Let's see. All right. I can't see you anymore. Okay, I've seen you now. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Amina Jimoh Show at the Amina Jimoh Foundation. Here with me tonight, our distinguished guest. We have His Excellency, Dr. Favor Ayodele, and we do have ASP Ishaya, and also Mr. Philip. And today is Mr. Philip's birthday. Mr. Philip happens to be my global PA, personal assistant for the Amina Jimoh Foundation, and also Ajay. So I'm going to sing him because before we care for the public, we always care for ourselves. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. We're not going to ask you how old you are because you're going to be looking younger. Ajay would make sure you'll be young forever. So I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. His Excellency, Dr. Favor Ayodele, to introduce himself, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Your Excellency Amina. I'm very glad that you have been on this show today. Quite great. And it's an opportunity. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you.
Okay.
Guys, if you can hear us, can you kindly write it down so that we know that you guys can see us?
Okay. So it's a very great privilege.
Actually, Dr. Cynthia is saying I'm not connected yet. I'm not sure why. Can you see us? If you can see us, can you let us know so we don't have issues going back again? Dr. Cynthia, can you see us? Because she wrote, I'm not connected yet, so I'm not sure what's going on. If anyone is there, I saw Zainab Abubakar, Malama Zainab, can you see us? Good evening. All right. So, sorry. I just want to make sure they can see us. Nobody's writing anything, so I'm not sure what's going on. Matthew, can you see us? And can you hear us? He said, good evening. I can see you all. Okay, awesome. Sorry to have interrupted you, Dr. Favor Ayodele. The last time we were here, our lovely hackers love to hack Ajay. So, and I always love them because I can always be here. So that's why we're checking to make sure that everything is fine. So we don't have to go twice. So sorry that I interrupted you. For the people who are just joining in, if you do not mind reintroducing yourself, and then I can have them introduce themselves, and then we can take it from there. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you once again, Your Excellency Amina. It's a great pleasure, like I said, to be on your show today. I think this is going to be the second time, so I'm happy to be here once again. Thank you so much.
We're happy to have
My
you
name
too.
is Favor Ayodele. By the special grace of God, I'm the founder and the global executive chairman of Vision Africa, an organization that is advocating for the unification of Africa, restoration of African value across the world. And I also am the founder of African Intellectual Resource Organization, or ARO. And of course, my popular name that people used to call me the carpenter. I'm the founder of the Carpenter Foundation, the Carpenter Consult. So this is what the little thing that we are doing for Africa. And I believe my profile is on public domain that people can read more. But for now, I'm advocated for gender parity. I mean, we are talking about women, talking about men as well, to ensure they have better life. And most importantly, Africa has a way of repositioning itself. So right now, all over the world, we are speaking for African and Africans. We are ensuring things that has to do with Africa community is is addressed properly, and also, on the center stage, we are telling our story by ourselves, and we are trying to let the world know that we can be uh, brushed aside or pulled down. So that is my little self. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much. I appreciate you. So
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and have ASP Ishaya introduce himself, please.
Good evening, everybody. With me, yes, Chad is the Safety and Security Officer for Amina Jimoh Foundation, still doubling as the coordinator of policies and other aspects. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, and welcome to the show. And to add to this, Ishara is a Nigerian police officer, a very good one that has been very helpful on that platform, helping lots of victims that have been through DV. When I say DV, DV means domestic violence. And anytime I call him, he's always up. So I give a big shout out to you. And I'll have Mr. Philip introduce himself, please.
Okay, good evening, everyone from this side of the world, or this part of the world. My name is Philip Aliu. I'm the personal assistant to Our Excellency Amina Jimoh Foundation for the whole of Africa. I'm also a personal assistant to Ajay. I'm currently the coordinator for Kogi State, Nigeria, and also the deputy coordinator for FCT. I'm an accountant by profession and also a real estate guru consultant.
A big one.
Yeah. So it's so pleased to be in this section to discuss about safeguarding adults. So it's a pleasure to be in this show tonight, and I hope we're going to be having a wonderful discussion in how to eradicate and also how to identify the area where adults are being subjected to various kind of abuses. So it is my utmost desire that at the end of this show, we're going to learn and we're going to begin to take necessary measures and precautions on how to safeguard ourselves and also safeguard all adults all over the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And for those of you joining us right now, because I know we had started before, today is Mr. Philip's birthday. And yes, they say charity begins from home. So before we care for our outside people, we care about ourselves. So I'm going to sing again. Even if you've listened before, I'll sing another happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Philip. Happy birthday to you. I wish you long life and prosperity, and all the one volunteer executives at the Amina Jimoh Foundation and all the members are wishing you a very happy birthday, and we'll be celebrating after the show. Thank you very much. So
Thank
over
you
to
very much. I
you.
really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Over to you,
Yeah.
His Excellency Dr. Favor Ayodele. Thank you.
Yeah. Once again, I want to say thank you, Your Excellency Amina. We are here, most importantly, to address a particular topic which was given to me a few uh, weeks ago. And I see the topic. It says leading the charge in global adult safeguarding awareness. No, um, I found it to be a very interesting topic, and I don't think that people are actually addressing it per se, because we always believe that adults, you are right in you should be complete in all understanding in all areas, in all measures. You should have a particular standard, or let me just say society has a particular standard measuring adults' behaviors and adult engagement. Uh, but we don't actually pay attention that most of the things that happen in the world actually, most of them are caused by, we adults. And it's actually adult that made up society uh, interesting and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, when you're talking about adult, you are talking about home, because without, individual adult that constitute home, there will not be any raising of any child anywhere. The children comes to life through adulthood. Children don't give birth to children, you know, and it's very hard for any underage to produce uh, another person. So adult is very, very key. The demographic of adult in our society is probably, I believe, this particular topic we see into and address and see the factors affecting and also way out to ensure we all have a sound mind towards our society. And we're talking about sound mind, we're talking about how to save, you know, guiding the the factors that are affecting us negatively. So without this particular topic, I don't think we can actually forge ahead and make our society habitable. So let me start by saying that it means taking initiative, uh, awareness, and to educate stakeholders, people involving in the uh, programs that, like mechanisms in mechanism, let me use that word, mechanisms that we address things that are not that relatable or palatable with adult in our society. Now, let's take a look from the angle of factors affecting adult, negativity or societal growth, relationship, and so on and so forth. So before you can have program for them, there are risks involved in adult engagement. And these are the things that we are not actually looking at. We all believe that as an adult, you should be able to engage in so way. There's a pattern, there's a way, there is a level in which you should reason. And if you are behaving like a child, they begin to look at you that, oh, this shouldn't be. Why are you behaving this way? It should be this way. It shouldn't be this way. But they would not know that family background, these are the part of factors that is going to be addressed. Background has to do with the growth of individuals. And it is this background that is affecting everyone as long you are in this health with us. Background has to do is contributing a lot to our engagement, to our relationship and all the things. So, but most most times we don't also see from the area of peers and how we, pull our friendship together to that will enable us to reason the way it should be done. Then when we are talking about family background, that is where you see values, that is where you see ethics, that is where you see morals, that's where you see, you know, um, adaptability and endurance and other things that we, other things that we be used to contribute to your uh, availability in engaging societal values. So this has to address properly, and we must also say the need to engage that adults or family or parents, they are not at risk in any way. But the problem is that who is actually teaching or addressing anything that has to do with adult risk? Where are the individuals or who are the well trained, who are the well informed that know all these factors affecting adult societal engagement? You must be well equipped, you must be well oriented before you can put out a word there, because opinions differs. A lot of people, reason differently. They used to say what is good for me might not be good for you. And these days, where social media is taking lead in societal engagement, different things are cropping in, different things are coming up to actually determine who is actually adult. And adults, so to say, in a technical part of its definition, may not necessarily has to do with age, but age is always contributing a very huge factor. When you look at adult, then you look at it from the aspect of demography that has to do with a particular sect to another angle. Let me use 25 upward. Even though we are still looking at young adult, when you are addressing adult, there are levels and stages to adulthood. As a matter of fact, some people that are of age 18, which is still adolescent, 19, they are still seeing they can react, they can walk, they can reason, they can engage as adults. But all the same, the age factor contributes a lot into this. But at the same time, there are people that you think that they are very of age and they are very they should be regarded as adult, but they are not behaving as adult. They are behaving like whatever. And like I said earlier, it is family background, family values, family initiative. What has become the person when that particular adult is growing?
So
So,
basically, when people are
mhm,
growing up from a
yeah,
family, they can definitely emulate things that they pick up from adults.
definitely,
Correct.
definitely.
Okay.
Whatever we are grown up to become today has a very great influence from our parents. Adults don't just become adults. And when you are actually in another mayor addressing adulthood, we are talking about maturity. I'm just creating this as a fundamental way to engage this evening, this particular topic, because when we hear adult, we believe that they are complete in reasoning, in views, in opinion, in giving advice and other things, in engagement, in relationship and everything. And we still see that the same adult today are causing panorama in our society, because whatever we do is what others are copying, what the youth, what the children are, getting themselves into. So it's very critical. The topic is very, very timely for us to address some factors that are putting adults at risk, and we need to also put it out there. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to quickly look at the factor affecting adult societal engagement. Number one that I used to say is fear of validation. Fear of validation. That is, we want to be validated. and we don't know if we are going to be validated. But to me, I don't believe that we should be looking forward, or adults should be looking into, or whosoever want to validate their opinions or not. If you are looking for validation, the person that you want to validate, that you're expecting to validate your opinion, I don't know if you I'm trying to give us some words that we don't need to go and be searching a book to know. What I'm trying to say is that don't expect validation from people that are not capable to validate themselves. Because the person that you are expecting to validate you is also, or he or she needs validation to know if he or she is on the line of making things happen. What am I trying to say? Fear of validation is always affecting adulthood in our society, what we are going to put out there, and there's what they call fact check.
I believe that's
You know,
where people fit. Some
uh-huh.
people do say fake it until you make it or whatever, and at the end of the day, they mess themselves up.
Exactly, exactly.
Or
So
they're
it is
trying
very,
to
very
copy their neighbor who maybe has enough money to water their lawn, and they're unnecessarily pouring water that they do not have or they cannot afford.
exactly. So I don't know why we are going. Sorry, I just want to open this thing very well.
That's okay.
I don't know why we are going into such, but because we really want to be accepted in our society, we want to engage, we want people to know that, okay, this thing is happening to us, and we want to get along, we want to be uh, accepted. So, but we don't actually know what people really need, why they should be accepted, why they should not be accepted, and why their views should be other people's view. And one of the things I'm even seen on social media these days is the fact that people are creating opinion. They are creating their life based on the opinions of others. And this is very risky. This is very, very, very bad, because you are trying to shape your life according to people's lifestyle. And if care is not taken, you will see all these agledy-pigledy happening in our homes and in our relationship. So why do we need this particular topic to be addressed? There's need for potential integration of value against a risk or adult risk in our society. So the awareness need public, campaign. The advocacy for adults to ensure they are doing things properly, because they are the one that are actually shaping the children's life, I mean the youth life, and other demography that involve in development and growth of individuals. So, and then the emotional intelligence of adults needs to be well addressed. How many of our adult individuals are out there that actually know what emotional intelligence is all about? And let me tell us here today that life generally, human being, we are very much in depth into, in emotional intelligence, much more than the objective part. That is to say, 87% of human life comprises of emotional intelligence. That is, we are too much too much emotional than logical aspect of objectivity. So we don't reason most times objectively, but we reason emotionally. We engage in our conversation emotionally. If you want to react on anything going on in the society, people used to engage, emotionally, but rather than figure it out in the perspective that we be well logical and give the society what they need to know. So it is fundamental, and I wouldn't want us to go abstractly I wouldn't want us to go without addressing the main thing that affects our adult that needs this awareness today, and it is in the area of relationship.
Actually, before we
Relationship.
go there, I would like to ask you what types of abuse are adults at risk and commonly exposed to?
We have verbal abuse, we have emotional abuse, we have domestic abuse, we have uh, we have
Financial?
in, we have intelligence abuse. Just mention something that I want to start explaining further that
Okay.
so that we know the in depth this fear of a thing, fear of unknown, and then we have financial abuse. We have classic abuse. That is to say, they are talking about rank, our our peers, the way we want to be seen in the society, the way we want to be addressed, all these things we have it. Like I said, we have intellectual abuse. So people can abuse you intellectually and also can abuse your intellect, your
Yeah,
intelligence.
gaslighting you, right? I'm manipulating
Yeah,
you.
yeah, they will tell you that, okay, I know this particular topic more than you. Some people are very eloquent, they are very, very expressive, but they don't know that particular subject as it should be. Why some people, address situations, per it flows. Let me use the word per it flows. Meaning, as it comes, that is how they do it. But they are very, 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 very well oriented in that particular subject. So that is what I mean by intellectual abuse. And verbal abuse is always very, very common. We see our adult today, engaging, contorting, and all displaying all manner of foul words, all manner of curse. People can curse themselves. I don't want to use the tribal aspect of engagement, which is very, very also fundamental. We have some people, group of individuals that are known to be abusers. That is verbal abusers. They can abuse you, verbally. And in fact, if you are being abused verbally, that person can take that word and act on it negatively. So there's need for us to control. That is, there's need for self-control. When you are talking, you will believe that mere conversation can can you know destabilize people. When you are communicating with some people and you don't know how to address it properly, you don't know how to communicate ethically, you know, that can cause a lot of quarrel, can disengage home. As a matter of fact, many of the things that home engage are getting themselves into today is because we do not have a trained adult in terms of conversation. I call it ethical conversation. When your conversation is not healthy, then it causes all kind of violence that you can ever
Can I,
imagine.
can I say something to that? When you say that sometimes things like that happen, I believe it has to do with upbringing. In some homes, you're being told you need to correct yourself. You're not supposed to speak like that. And in some homes, I'm sorry to say, I'm going to use the men. Some men, they would be like, oh, he's a boy. You're not supposed to talk to a boy like that. He's allowed to talk that way. So he grows up with this king hat, thinking anyone that comes his way has to like serve as a servant. And even when he's right, they have to, he has to talk down on them or they have to go by what he's saying. So basically, people sometimes go through that innocently. Children are raised innocently sometimes. And then they, grow up becoming perpetrators themselves.
Yeah, you're right. There's a word that just jumped into me now. I call it emotional damage. Character damage is it has to do with how we converse, how we communicate. And character most time is built through communication. And people don't know character sometimes, most times, built through communication. If your conversation is not right, if your conversation is not healthy, Let me use the word healthy. And then there's a word that came to me now. If your conversation is not medicinal, you know, you will not be able to convince and put your message out there properly. And adults is on this verge. Whatever thing we are into today, we are actually building the next generation through our conversation. And out there today, that we have people now in the area of social media, they call themselves content creator. Content creator. So these content creators, they are adults, so to say, in quote and unquote. Whatever thing they put up there, children are reading it, and it will last there for whatever the social media uh, uh, we stand for. So this is very, very critical that we don't put up content or message or um, information that are detrimental to the growth of our youth and our children. So adults, the way they engage verbally, to me, it needs to be repositioned. We need to, you know, we need to put a touch, but it all boils into family culture. What is your culture? What is your family culture? What do your family believe? What do you believe? Do you believe in insult? Do you believe in abuse? Do you believe in? You won't believe that some family just don't have respect for humanity. You know, they don't have respect for women. Some don't have respect for men. Some don't have respect for children, and all like that, like that, like that. And it's because adult. It is all based on adult societal engagement. So, what do we do this time around to quickly put stop to ungodly or uncomely or rash or downgrading conversation that builds character? Don't forget,
Talking
like I
about
said,
what you just said
uh-huh,
about women, I'll chip in. Probably some of them have seen their mothers yell at their fathers, and they will take their fathers. How your Nigerians would say boy boy, like house boy, the
mm,
way the mother talks down on the father, and that's like the child innocently learns that and takes that into her own marriage too sometimes. So yes, I'm just adding to what you said.
okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, what we say to each other or to one another, it's very, very important to uh, put our mind in and ensure we don't create the society we don't want. Like I used to say, be the leader you want to see. Be the leader you want to see. In other words, be the family, be the adult you want to see. If you are expecting so from a particular adult, are you also in that format? Are you, are you configured in that format? Thank you for that. Thank
I
you.
have to
So
give you the African yes, yes.
so be the parent you want to see, be the man you want to see, be the woman you want to see. I think that one will give us more orientation of how our value is configured. The best way to address this particular thing is ensuring you have an intact and same value driven adult. That is how I want to recap today's topic: value driven adult or adult driven value. Whichever way we interchange it like that. That is, your adulthood, is it driven by value? Are you being driven by value? And is the best way to ensure we reposition our society better, and we try to create what is meaningful and futuristic sustainability that should be expected or should be instilled into our life. So I believe that this particular platform will help whosoever come and listen to this, will help us to revalue our ethical engagement. So ladies and gentlemen, I think that with this little, but I've not yet talked about how we can actually raise this awareness. We have adults everywhere in our profession, in our workplace, in our society, on many platforms, organizations. Adults are everywhere, and we don't know that we are the one actually shaping the the world that we are into. And what is basically shaping our adulthood is communication, is information. The information you have actually shape us. The information we have, you know, puts us in a better perspective or in a wrong perspective. When you are dealing, there is a particular well, let me shift a little bit. I mean, I want to talk on the courtism. People that are in court, they said that they want to protect themselves, protect protecting themselves from who? The same court members will be the one pursuing another court member to be killed. So who are you actually protecting yourself from? So, but we will have forgotten that okay, it is because of the information that they have. If they know that they are not actually protecting themselves in any way, they are actually involving themselves into something that is detrimental to their future and life, they wouldn't have even gone that far of initiating themselves, in that pattern. That being said, information, communication, what I call communication intelligence and information intelligence, these two is very, very fundamental to raise awareness on what adults should do or what they should not do, and what they should expect and what they should not expect. Now, let me use this one to put it across to anyone, please. We all belong to one family or the other. You can actually re reshape your family if you know that your culture is not generally accepted or acceptable. If you know that your culture has, or let me just say, if you know you are having damaged culture, and damaged culture has to do with one sided pattern of engagement. What we are doing in our family is quite different from what you are doing in your family. So, how can we blend together? So, if two people now are coming together as adult, that is adult A and adult B, male and female are coming together. Whatever your culture, is structured on, must be able to bend you must be able to bend to the extent of accepting the other person's culture. So family culture is very, very important in this format. And I hope that everybody listening, you will be able to note that the culture is the one influencing us positively, negatively. So how do we blend together? How do we marry our culture together that fits in? And that is where ecosystem is all about. Understanding. So adults need to understand themselves in the area of perspectives and opinions are not always, you know, are not always the best for anyone listening or anyone engaging. So we now need to come to a level of agreement. How do we relate together? And that is where compatibility is all about. The word compatibility is engaging in agreement how we can move forward. And the word maturity now comes from the fact that we need understanding. We need understanding to engage. So if you're the type, for example, two people are sleeping on the same bed in your own family before, you don't like to on your light before you sleep. Some people sleep in the dark, some people sleep while their light, is on. And so if you come from the place where you used to on your light and somebody is coming from the way of the place where they used to shut down their light. So how do we marry it together? You must find an equilibrium, a point where you both agree, okay, let us do it this way. So what if we have a lamp, a very small lamp, and we cover the lamp with a cloth? So you that like to see the light or that see light on, you will sleep where the light can shine to your side. And you that like your bed, I mean, you like to sleep without light, you can sleep where the light will not reflect to your side. That's understanding.
That's where the
So
compromise comes in, right?
that is where the compromise comes in. That is where we need to, bend our rules. But if you say that you are rigid in your rules, then there can never be, that means you have put that adult individual at risk. So it will not help you to get going, and then we call it toxic relationship. Oh,
Okay.
is my relationship is toxic? Is this is that? Simply because you do not find a an agreeable, you know, uh, point to address your situation and move forward. So that is where I think we need to uh, build our culture and let our culture be relatable. Once your culture is not relatable, that is, it's not domestically acceptable or accepted, it will cause what people call wahala. You know?
Wahala. That's a big
Uh-huh.
chaos. That's true.
Uh-huh. Ladies and gentlemen, how we talk, the way we talk in our language, they used to say that ọ̀rọ̀ tútù ló máa ń mú obì lápò. A gentle words, brings, better understanding. Let me just use that word. You know, a gentle words calms anger. A gentle words calmness. And other. Your being calm and being gentle is not a crime. Being respectful, being uh, honorable is not a crime. Your humility is not a crime, does not make you a stupid person. But let me tell us today that if you're not stupid, quote and unquote, you cannot enjoy relationship. Yes. If you're not stupid, quote and unquote, you
I
cannot enjoy
I'll
relationship.
call in there. I believe the Yoruba say, "Ìyàn kan gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ ewúrẹ́ kí ẹnìkan jẹ́ àgùntàn." Correct me if I'm wrong.
Exactly. Exactly. So you have to calm down. If you have to prove a point, there's a way of proving your point. And these are the things that is, actually going on adults' life, and they don't know how to address it. They don't know how to put it across. By the special grace of God, I've been into consultancy, professional engagement for more than 2 decades now. I've, as a life coach, as somebody that helps homes to develop their lives, even though people may not know this face out there, but I'm doing a lot behind the scene, helping family to reshape their lives and
I will say
individuals, both
thank you
young.
and kudos to you because
Thank
I
you.
know you're joining today from Canada. Philip is joining from Nigeria, and Isha is joining from Nigeria, and I'm here in the US. A lot of I would say Africans don't know the value of what we're doing. Some do know what we're giving back to the society because it's a lot for people to pay to hear about these things. And Africans, I would say, mostly frown at this. Nobody wants to talk
Mhm,
about anything that has to do with domestic violence. When we say
mhm,
domestic violence, it's not only husband and wife. It has to do with
mhm,
children too. So people have to start caring about, okay, what are the signs? Because sometimes you talk to some maybe a guy or a female, and he will just say, "Oh, she just told me I'm stupid." It's okay. No, it's not okay. It's like that's how it starts. From you are stupid, they'll start slapping you, and from the slapping, God forbid, you wouldn't know when the next slap will land you into grave. People are dying right now. If only we can learn and be okay with listening to people their time to talk to you about these things. Some people kind of like brush it off, or they'll be like, "Oh, whose story are you telling?" And that's the problem, stigmatization. When people come to tell their stories, instead of telling them bravo for helping other people, because yes, they're creating awareness. But because of the African stigmatization, they already have it. Oh, if I say this, my neighbor would know my husband is beating me or my wife is beating me. And then we put it from generation to generation. So we have to break that cycle. I come from two cultures, the American culture that says it's okay to speak, and the Nigerian culture that women are told to be silent. If you're going through domestic violence, they will tell you to keep quiet because it's a shame. And people would say, If you divorce him, people will start counting husbands for you. And then these innocent women die. Sometimes innocent men die. I just posted something about a man. If you go back to the channel, going through domestic violence, all in the name that he told his wife that he got retirement benefits. If you can imagine it, the wife and the children planned on killing this guy. Go back on the YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and you'll see it. So where are we going with this? And people are keeping quiet about it. And families are helping the abusers to enable this. So these topics we're talking about, I know we talked about this. We did the child uh, safeguarding the last time, and we're doing the adult one because we need to start speaking. You cannot be quiet. You have a voice. You need to use it. Sometimes people would say only the rich or only the wealthy people can be heard. I don't believe in that. I believe, yes, you have to keep trying. Even if one person does not hear you, someday another person would hear you. People would name you and label you as a wahala, but like His Excellency Dr. Favor said, wahala means trouble. But you don't care, don't give a damn about what people say about you, because at the end of the day, it's about you. Do you know if you go into that grave, they will still blame you for letting some useless person kill you? So it's high time. I know it's as easy as saying it. Sometimes abusers would gaslight you, and yes, and I'm sorry if I'm being harsh to the victims. Sometimes it's not easy to leave. I get it. But start planning your exit plan. Your children need you alive. Another woman might not be able to take good care of your children. Another man might not be able to take good care of your children, and no one will forgive you. Sometimes people say, I stayed for the children. I've heard male friends say, oh, I stayed because of the child. Don't do that. You're only damaging those kids more. Because you know what they're seeing? You're telling them it's okay to be abused. No, it's not okay for a male child to be abused. It's not okay for a female child to be abused also. You have to start teaching men also and your male child that it's not only women that get abused, men also get abused. And sometimes men are not able to talk, especially the African men, because they look at it like if I speak to look like I'm less of a man. So sorry I cut you off, but I just wanted to put this here. And if you're a victim, keep going strong. Find people who listen to you, not people who would mock you. And don't give a damn what people say because, like I said before, if you, God forbid, die, the same people will blame you for dying. So, Dr. Favor, His Excellency, right on. Thank you.
I think you've actually contributed a lot to what we are treating today. Domestic violence is not good, and I am vehemently, kicking against it in all level of, or let me just say, with all level of understanding and responsibility that we don't need it. Domestic violence is not necessary. It's not necessary, and this is what I have come to say. Like for a couple of weeks, or let me just say months now. Let me just 3 months ago, I've started letting people understand the risk that's involved in domestic violence, and but before it comes to that level, once you see a red flag in a relationship, run away. Red flag, no matter how tiny it is, because it is not easy. Somebody was talking about challenges in adult safeguarding. It is not easy to pull out in a relationship where you have invested, a relationship where you have, when I talk about investment, I'm talking about emotional investment, talking about your time, your resources, your energy, your, it has drained you, your health is also involved. As a matter of fact, some people also are bullish or sabotage their own vision for others to live, sabotage their own plan, their goals, their programs for others to live. So this involvement, this investment has really done a lot, and it has contributed to the fact that that person is involved. So it's not always easy to pull from any relationship, no matter how toxic the relationship is. But the first thing, the best things to do, red flag. Red flag, run away from red flag. Once you start noticing anything, if you cannot run away, you should be able to address it right there. And don't address it with transferring aggression. That is one of the things that we are, because if we see little things, we may actually be in danger by running away from a relationship that can also last. Because if we all be running away, who is going to stay in relationship? However, domestic violence is very, very not good for anyone. But this is what I would like us to do is that we should learn how to communicate respectfully and calmly, gently. It will help in pulling off some fire that is already, or let me just say, pulling off some smoke of fire that is already, looping. So let us learn how to address situation with respect. Respect yourself, respect other person, respect your partner. When we all respect ourselves, or we both respect ourselves, whichever that's in relationship or who is in relationship, you will discover that if I give you respect, for example, we are two in relationship. I give you respect, you give me respect. We can never fight. We can never have anything called misunderstanding because your value is respected, my value is respected, and we will keep going. And I said it before, that is where compatibility, is compatibility. How can two people from different background be compatible? And they will say, oh, I'm not compatible with that person. But do you know other person will be compatible with the person you reject? So other person will be compatible with the person I reject, or the person that rejects me. Well, so what brings compatibility is value orientation, respect, and understanding. And that is actually where maturity lies. If you know a man that is okay, let me quickly say this. It might sound religious, but it is not. It's called divine wisdom. Divine wisdom. You need wisdom to put things right, to put perspective right. Please, if you know and you know you need relationship, ask God for divine wisdom. Not only relationship between husband and wife, or between male and female, or between one adult and another. You need wisdom in your engagement, in your day-to-day activities, in your organization. Because if you are not applying wisdom in your organization, your boss can pull you out. If you don't know how to address situation in your organization and you're always causing one trouble or the other, that is lack of wisdom. You can be pulled out, you can be disgraced, you can be, sidelined and all that thing. And that is what we are talking today. We are talking about safeguarding our adults' engagement and things that needs to be done for societal development and growth of individuals. I think let me pause here so that others can respond.
Yes, we actually have a question. She said, Zainab said, what are the challenges in adult safeguarding?
Yes, I've mentioned it earlier. I've been talking about the challenges in adult safeguarding,
Okay.
but I believe so that I
Maybe
want
she just
others
joined in.
to
Okay.
actually take a center stage and let them also respond, because I wouldn't want to be the one talking and not giving them 1 or 2 minutes for them to address and say.
All
And
right.
of course, if they agree with me, they can as well, or let me just say, if they disagree with me, they can as well say it, and so that me too, I can learn from them.
Absolutely, I agree with you. So,
Thank you.
I believe some of the challenges could be lack of awareness, lack of training. Some people don't have training. I'm just answering Zainab. Some people don't have training. Some people like the cultural and social norms. So things like that could be part of what makes it challenging. And
I've talked about orientation intelligence. I talked about fear of validation. I've talked
Right.
about peers. I've talked about family values. I've talked about what is it called now? Cultural background. I've talked about our views and our exposure.
And I think
Majority of
another crazy thing about it is like underreporting. People have the fear to report it. Because then sometimes when they report it, they feel like they do not have the means to follow through. It's like paying a lawyer is crazy. It's a lot of money. So people are like, well, I don't even know how I'll feed myself. And now I have to start, fighting a case that I don't even know how much, I would go with. So fear and the lack of reporting can be one of the challenges too. All right. Thank
fear,
you so much. Okay, go ahead. You
you
want to say
welcome.
something?
Fear of reporting, it's also from the perspective of not being informed.
Okay.
When you are in a danger or when you are facing a danger, for example, okay, you want somebody asks you to put your hand on, inside a fire, and you go there and you do that. So if you are being threatened, I think that aspect also is very, very important as one of the challenges, life threatening fallacy,
You're right.
you know,
If you're being
they
threatened,
will,
it could be
yeah,
another
it's,
thing that would make you not
mhm,
to talk. Because then, if you do
mhm,
this, I'll do this. If you say this will happen to you. There have been people who
yes,
have been told, if you leave me, somebody will die. So now you're
somebody will die.
like, I don't know who is going to die, so I have to be careful. So,
Yeah. So that's what I call it fallacy,
yeah,
because nobody is going to die
exactly.
if you apply wisdom in it.
Yeah,
If you apply wisdom
sometimes,
in it,
yes, but never. I'm going to put a disclaimer here. So, we are only here to teach you. We're not your uh, security expert. So it's a disclaimer. Whatever we're telling you here is left for you to go back and ask the authorities what you need to do. Because I don't want tomorrow you say, oh, it's Amina Jimoh Show that said this, or it's His Excellency that said this. So whatever you're taught tonight, take it back to the authorities, take it back to people in power in the offices that you need this vital information from. But like he already stated,
then,
I would say when you're leaving the abuser, be very careful. It's not easy to leave sometimes. So people should stop gaslighting the victim, saying, "Why did you stay? Why did you, or why are you leaving?" Let them
exactly.
have a mind of their own because sometimes you destabilize them that it will mess them up for years. And then sometimes it will make them drag cases that they're not even supposed to drag if they've nipped it in the bud from the beginning, especially the
Mhm.
cultural place where they tell you, do not do this, leave it for God. Leave it for God now becomes something you have to continue living for the rest of your life with. We believe in God at the Amina Jimoh Foundation. We start everything with God. He's our foundation. However, like I always tell people, this is a humanitarian foundation. We're not talking about religion. However, that's what our pillar is. So take everything to God, but when it's time to act, act accordingly. Do not listen to any pastor. Do not listen to any imam. At the end of the day, you're the one wearing the shoe. Nobody is going to come and save you. You have to save yourself. Nobody will rescue you. I'm sorry if I'm sounding like this. I have to sound tough sometimes to you so you can listen. Because at the end of the day, people will mock you, people will laugh at you, and some will clap for you. And you know why?
Madam, Your
Because,
Excellency,
yes, go ahead.
sorry, let me quickly say this before it escaped me.
Okay,
Lack of economic um, integration or economic empowerment,
true.
it makes people to that just came to my mind now,
That's a good
because
one.
as a
That's a
matter of
good
fact,
one.
I've been in the meeting with a UN person since about more than 3 4 hours. We've been talking, having meetings, and we're talking about economic empowerment for women, especially women stays in relationship or they stay in abuse because they are not economically empowered. So it is very, very important for every woman listening, and even including men, to be economically empowered. Empower yourself, even if you are depending on your man, but let the larger part of your dependence to be independent. Be independent,
Even
at
if you're not
least.
independent, have
So
something doing, something you can fall back on.
that is what I'm saying by independent. Just be independent to a large degree, and educationally, inform yourself. That is, be informed educationally. Be
Because when
equipped
you say
education.
independent, some people would think you're saying that in some cultures, men are expected to be the breadwinners. And some women are like, okay, he's supposed to be. Are you now teaching us to be independent from them? That's not what we're saying. Have something on
Okay.
the side, is why I'm explaining
What
this.
what I'm saying is that even if you are under your husband, to some degree, make sure it is not everything you ask from him. At least when you know that you are capable of
Why would
handling
you
some
say
certain
it's not
things.
everything you ask from him? Sometimes if he can afford it, he should willingly give it.
That is what I'm
I'm
saying.
talking
That
for my
it's not
women.
everything. Oh, okay. This women, let them. I want to actually address it before I quit. I'm having another meeting now, but let me
Sure.
quickly say this to our women listening here. I don't. I wouldn't want a toxic home. As a matter of fact, I'm a home builder, and this is how to build home. Don't always be a liability to anybody. As a matter of fact, if you do, you are at the mercy of that man all the time. And whatever he says becomes your order. I'm not saying you should disobey your man. I'm not saying you should disregard his opinion. What I'm saying is when you collaborate by understanding and by the knowledge of empowerment you have got so far by yourself, you will understand that your man will also respect you.
100%.
Respect.
That's if he was brought up with respect. Some don't respect you, even when you do have that.
so, so respect is very, very important in relationship. And how to respect yourself is not always by words. It's not always by words.
Yes.
It's always it always boils down to your value, your orientational value, what you hold in high esteem for yourself. That is how you can earn respect. Respect should not be demanded. Respect is earned. So, and that is where trust is all about. That is where you can actually go out there and contribute. And I want to sound this thing that women, please, you are not a sex object. You are not. You are not a sex toy. And when we are talking about what do you bring on the table, and don't be saying that you are at the table. If you are at the table, they will put food on you. They will put hot thing on you. What are you bringing on the table? Bring value. When the man asks you, what are you bringing on the table? I'm bringing value, and these are my values. Bringing this, I'm bringing that, I'm bringing that. Don't even mention sex in your relationship, that I'm bringing sex. Because it is both of you that will enjoy sex, not one. Sex is not being enjoyed by one person. Sex is enjoyed by two people.
Well,
There's
sex can
nobody.
be gotten from anyone. Since sex can be gotten from a
That is what I'm
prostitute.
about to
All
say.
I care.
Sex can be gotten by anybody.
Yeah.
So don't bring sex to the table. Don't, it shouldn't even be a subject matter. It should be a complementary thing that you can just just script and then make it. Don't even make it a conversation, because the moment you start making it a conversation, it becomes what the subject and the concentration will be. So please bring value, bring ethical relationship, bring cultural, you know, independence into your relationship, brings professionalism into your relationship, brings career into your relationship, brings, uh, uh, family orientation. That is, be a homely person and be an ethical person, like I said. And other thing that I want you to bring on the table is skills and gift. Bring your skills to the table. These are the challenges that we have to address quickly before we go. All these things has to do with adult, awareness in safeguarding societal values in our world. So bring skills, bring intelligence on the table. Make your conversation most times to be intelligently, attractive. You know, so this is what is needed in our society today. This is what is needed, and I want you to take it from me and how this. And the last one, please, brings to the table, brings emotional intelligence to the table. And once, let me just say, anyone that is emotionally intelligent, let me tell you what it does. It strengthens relationships. It gives you honor because why? You are able to manage the affairs of that home. You'll be able to manage yourself. You'll be able to manage your partner. You'll be able to manage the influence that has to do with your relationship. And I think by this is what you are going to introduce into society, and this is what society will know you to be. Don't be posting anything that is contrary to your value standard of interest on your social media. Don't post anything that negates human sanity, human intelligence. Don't post anything that other people will see and they begin to consider you to be something else. It has to do with your value. What is your value? Is what help awareness, adult awareness, and safeguarding the principle of adult. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Favor, His Excellency Ayodele. I believe all of us, we are adults, so everybody should be value driven. And thanks for coming to the Amina Jimoh Show tonight at the Amina Jimoh Foundation. Thank you and God bless you. And we would love to have you here next time again. And thank you. And I'll have ASP Ishaya log into the YouTube channel now to educate us more about safeguarding. Thank you so much, His
Okay.
Excellency, and have a
Yeah.
lovely day. And I hope
Yes, sir.
your weather in Canada is lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Bye bye.
Okay. All right. So we're going to have Ishaya. Ishaya is a police officer with the Nigerian government, and he's also the senior safety. Ishaya, you can actually log off from here from the Zoom, and then I would have only Philip on the Zoom for now. So you can go on the YouTube. It's your show. It's your turn. So log off from the Zoom, Ishaya. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. All right. So you can log off from here. So you can go on the YouTube. All right? Ishaya, can you hear me? Yeah? All right. Okay, why don't you log off and go on the YouTube? Let me see. All right. It's a very lovely day, and I hope everybody's there doing well. So let me. Ishaya, you need to log off from the Zoom. I'm not sure. Philip, can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay, great. I don't know if Ishaya can hear me or the network, because I know he's where he is, the network sometimes is bad because I can't see him anymore on the Zoom, but I'm not seeing him logging on to the YouTube. Yeah, let's see. All right, let me call him. Zainab said, I have gained a lot of insight from this conversation. Thank you so much, sir. ASP Shaya Yusuf, you have given us a whole lot of insight into this topic. I love that that we should all be value-driven adults. Yes, Zainab, we definitely need to be. All right. I believe probably Ishaya is having network issues, so I would have Philip go on, and you can log off from the Zoom, and then we would take it from there. Thank you very much. So you can just go and log on to the YouTube now. Thank you. And by the way, today is Philip's birthday. I'll keep singing that. So, because he's my personal assistant to Africa. All right, Philip, you can log off here and join the YouTube. I sent you the link again. Thank you. All right. Okay. Let me end this here. So, I hope everybody's there doing well. We're just waiting for. All right, someone is here. I believe it is. Let's see, odd. Okay. All right. Welcome, Philip. Kindly introduce
Yeah,
yourself
thank
again
you.
and then we'll take it from there.
Okay, my name is Philip Aliu. I'm the personal assistant to Our Excellency Amina Jimoh Foundation, and also the personal assistant to Ajay. I'm also the coordinator for Kogi State, and also the deputy coordinator for FCT. I am an accountant by profession, and I'm also a real estate expert and a consultant. So it's so nice to be in this show to discuss about a global phenomenon, a global challenge about adults. Most times we are so quick to look at children abuse, but adults are going through abuses on daily basis, on every second, every minute. Adults are being killed in one way or the other based on abuse. So I want to believe that we're going to gain a lot from this conversation tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What um what action should be taken when a safeguarding concern is raised?
All right. Thank you very much. Before then, when we talk about before we even talk about that, when we talk about adult abuse, safeguarding adult abuse, we're looking at those people that are under serious abuse, vulnerable, the elderly. We're looking about the vulnerable within our midst, within our communities. We're looking at people that are being deprived financially, sexually, emotionally, psychologically, people that are being abused. So the safeguard to take against such abuses is that, one, when you know you are being abused, it's better to walk away with your heads alive than to remain. Now, recently there is a situation I was reading on social media. A lady was going through terrible abuse by the family of her husband, but she remained because she think she's staying there because of her children. And at the end of the day, the abuse, the torture, the abuse became so much. The children she was staying for, she couldn't stay alone because she died in the course of the abuses. So if she have left, she would have actually saved herself, and she could have also be there for her children, not even in the house, but at least outside the house, she will have been stayed there for the children. So one of the things I think we need to adult need to begin to do is that just take a walk. Separation is allowed. Separation is permissible. Just take a walk and possibly document every abuses you are going through. Document it. For me, I think you should document it so that the law enforcement can actually take the course. The law of the nation, of the country, can actually take the course. So people that are going through abuse, when you are going through abuse, it's important that you walk away. And it's also important that you should also take records. You should take down record video evidence, so that in the course of going through judges or through the court, you can actually present evidences. So the reason why a lot of persons look as if they don't have they are going through abuse is because most time there's no evidence to show. Okay, there's nothing to show. So I want to encourage persons that are going through abuses that
And
one of the things you
sometimes
need to do
I'll
is,
come in. Sometimes there
yeah.
might be something to show, but the
Hmm.
perpetrators delete things from your
Yeah.
phone. So you might
Yeah.
want to send it to your family, somebody who you
Of
trust,
course.
or send it to your
Of course.
email. If they have access
Of
to
course.
these things, they can easily delete it. I've seen cases
Of course.
where perpetrators would take your phone and send you a message and they would answer themselves and they would delete it. You wouldn't
Hmm.
be aware of what they have sent to you and they would use
Yeah,
it
of course.
against you in court. So
Of course.
people who come into relationship like that, some of them have a
Mm.
plan that you are not aware of. So be
Of
guarded.
course. Of course. So, well, I think apart from that, again, we should learn to also talk to confide on people. Okay, we should learn to
When
confide on
you
people. A
say
lot of
confide
persons.
on people, sometimes you would say you can confide in an adult that he's a stupid adult. Sorry to use that language. Being old
Of
does not
course.
mean you have sense. Some people don't have sense.
Of course.
So make sure the person
Of
that you're
course.
talking to is not somebody that would laugh at you and mock you when you're done talking. Some people just want to hear
Yeah, of
about
course.
you and go and gossip.
Yeah.
So make sure, even
Yeah, of course.
families do that. Families do that.
Yeah, of course.
Our friends do that. They call them monitoring spirits. They only call you to
Of
find
course.
out what you're going through because believe it or not, some people are happy that you're going through that misery. Some people are not
Of
happy.
course. Of course.
So find time to reflect. Find time to sit back sometimes and have a quiet time. If you believe in music, listen to music. If you believe in prayers,
Mm-hmm.
pray. Always pray. I would always advise you that. When you pray, with that prayer, sometimes you can find the time to know that, okay, maybe this is what I need to stop doing, or this is what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start re-evaluating people you're talking to. Sometimes you're just wasting your time. When you drop the phone,
Yeah,
they'll
yeah.
say, oh, he's here again, she's here again. And they will pick up the phone and start gossiping about you. So, like Philip said, find somebody who is responsible. It's better
Yeah.
you tell God, I would say, than to tell somebody who will be out telling your story. We tell stories here does not mean that when you call me, I would now carry your story. No. Sometimes people would say, put my name out there, I don't care. I give kudos to them. Some people want it to they want to own up to their story. Some people don't want to own up to their story. It's still fine. They're still
Mm-hmm.
empowering you. Whether you like it or not, we're
Yes.
empowering you tonight. Because some people come to the platform and they're looking for empowerment. Empowerment. This is part of empowerment. Because if you are paying for this tonight, it will be a lot of money too. So this is empowerment,
Of
giving back
course.
to you that this is things that you would have to go pay a therapist. I'm not your therapist. Philip is not your therapist. Favor is not your therapist. Ishaya is not your therapist. But we're
Yeah.
talking here. And like I said, I always use a disclaimer because I don't want to hear help now becomes wahala. If you bring any wahala, I'll give it
Mm.
back to you. I'm going to teach you BC. What I said is I'm not the child that goes back home to hear to get results. I'll give you it right back here. You act ghetto with me, I'll give it right back to you. I was not born in the ghetto, but my job has made me learn how to deal with people accordingly. So whatever you bring here,
Yeah.
I'll give it to you. Don't come with the impression of, oh yeah, you're a public figure, you're supposed to do this. You mind yourself the way you accord me is how I'm gonna accord you. So going on with what we're saying, find a responsible adult to talk to. And if you do not have
Of course.
any around you, speak to God. Philip, go ahead and
Of
talk.
course. Okay. What I'm saying, you need to conform to a responsible adult. When we say responsible adult, is very key. You know, I have a friend, a lady. She's a mother of three.
Let's not make mention of
Um,
names though, but go ahead.
no, I'm not mentioning names. I'm
All
just
right.
said I have a friend. I used to have a friend also back days. She used to be a mother of three. and she had been enduring a lot of emotional abuse. Not the husband have never laid a hand on her, but she goes through a lot of abuses. And one of the areas of the abuses she goes through, passed through, was that when it comes to area of sex, he said the man is never a romantic person. So, and she's more of a romantic type. So the marriage became so toxic for her, and she was really going through a lot of emotional abuses. The man stuck to her, he looked down on her. Her self-esteem became so low and so down. But when she spoke to me, I began to counsel her on what she need to do, or what she expected to do of her. And our consolation then was music. Our consolation was books, and above all, she prays a lot. Above all, she prays a lot. But when we begin to talk. I asked her, just create friend out there, just go out, talk to people, just exercise yourself, just associate, just take your mind out of it. Gradually, she began to come to her senses. She was a shadow of herself. She was a really shadow of herself. So a lot of persons are going through a lot of challenges, especially abuses, emotional abuses. But this is not even peculiar to women alone. Even men. Some men that cannot even provide for their family, they are having the financial issues, especially even the breadwinner. Possibly the woman is a breadwinner, and the man uh, is not doing maybe doing anything, or he has lost his job. I've seen a situation where the women sometimes they turn down the man, they frustrate the man, they terrorize the man to the point that the man begins to thinking of even commit suicide. We saved we saved somebody about 3 months ago. The man was about to commit suicide. He was about to commit suicide because the pressure was on him too much. The pressure was him. He refused to tell anybody. He refused to speak out. Most times men, the men have ego. If I talk to people, they will say, "My wife, you are not, you are less of a man." So men should learn to speak out. There's not speaking out does not make you less of who you are, but speaking out is a key. Is very important. So we should learn to speak out. You don't know where help will come from. You don't know where somebody will say, "Come and get a job. Just get something. Just get up something." And this person, we when he
I
spoke
would
out,
like to come in there about jobs. It's not only when you're providing. Some men provide 100%, and they still have a
yeah,
narcissistic woman who
yeah,
terrorizes them, who does all different things to gaslight them. So sometimes it's not
yeah,
like you're not that good man. In a lot
mm-hmm,
of cases, like that case you're talking about, we have
mm-hmm,
seen a lot of men, responsible men, but
of
unfortunately end
course,
up with these stupid women that would make their life miserable. So it's vice
mm-hmm.
versa.
But I think that there is I think the sign is always there from the beginning. The signs is always there.
Sometimes there might
Okay.
not be signs. When you meet a correct
Yeah.
narcissist, there wouldn't be a sign. I'll
Yes.
tell you
Yes.
that. A
Yeah.
correct
Of course.
narcissist will be with you for years.
Of
Some
course.
might be financial ones, some might be, maybe they are not the ones that beat. You'd never see
Mm-hmm.
it because
Yeah.
they already came into your life with no good
Yeah.
intention. So they have a strategy. They have already
Yeah.
strategized everything. Like I just
Mm-hmm.
told you, some would send things, would record you talking to them innocently that you're not
Mm-hmm.
aware of. Send
Yeah,
it
of
to people
course.
that you don't even know your family. And then later on, you're
Mm-hmm.
like, when did this happen? Or send, like I said, send text message. Some people are very open. They give their spouse their like code, or they don't have a code on their phone. The next
Mm-hmm.
minute, that person is saying you are stupid. The same person who wrote you are
Of course.
stupid will respond back and say you are an idiot. And before
Yeah, of
you come,
course. Of
just
course.
like WhatsApp, it says delete. You are not going to know that somebody
Of
something
course.
was sent. But the
Of course.
court needs evidence. They work with evidence. Unfortunately, it's not what he say, she say. People
Yeah, of
who know
course.
that that person is a gaslighter or abuser
Mm-hmm.
will believe you. Some might believe you, some might not believe you. Because when you see
Mm-hmm.
these narcissists, they're the best people out there. They treat other people
Absolutely.
very nicely. And when you
Absolutely.
talk about it, you look like you're crazy. And God bless you if you're the one that talks in the, if you're good with talking to people and defending yourself, they'll say, oh, this guy is a problem or this woman is a problem. The guy is a
You're
quiet
right.
man, he cannot do that. So at the end of the day, people look at you that you are the problem because this person is maybe a quiet person or a people's person. So these are the things that I say that sometimes 100% people will say there will be a red flag. Sometimes I would say there wouldn't be a red flag if you
Mm-hmm.
meet a
Yeah.
correct narcissist. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think most times cultural differences, cultural issues also is always especially in this part of the world where we are. It is sometimes it is a taboo. It is a taboo for a man to or a woman to speak out either to their spouses. Maybe they'll be enduring that emotional this thing, tortures. There are some culture and there are some religion in this part of the world whereby as a woman you cannot speak, you cannot dare to speak to your husband. You cannot dare to speak to him. Just endure whatsoever it comes, whatsoever is bringing. Just endure. Whenever, even when it touches the woman, just endure. It will change. These things, it will change.
He will
When
change
you
your go
begin
and
to
pray
hear,
for him. Go and pray for him.
uh,
You don't know what prayer
yeah,
has
go and
to
pray
do
for
with
him.
abuse.
Yeah, go and pray for him. It will
Go and pray
definitely
for him.
change.
Sometimes you pray and pray. At the end of the day, the
Of
prayer will
course,
take you to your grave. So you better start using
of,
your senses. When they are telling
of
you to
course,
pray, pray to God and find a way to run. I
yes,
know,
of course.
like
I,
His Excellency Dr. Favor Ayodele stated, financially,
yeah,
lots of women
yeah,
are not financially able to live. So sometimes
of
that's
course,
what keeps them. For men,
of course,
sometimes they have that financial means. So they can
of
look back
course,
and say, you know what, I'm done with this shit. I'm out of here.
of course,
But
of
some
course,
women who are depending on this man would be like, okay, there's nothing to do. I have to stay because I cannot feed the children or I cannot feed
of
myself.
course,
So
of
even
course.
if it is pure water, make una they hear me. I'm sticking my pigeon now. Even if not pure
Mm-hmm.
water, make you go carry am. Put am in front of your gate, the seller. Nǹkan tí mo
Yeah,
sọ
of
ni pé
course.
kò bá jẹ́ pure water ni gbé síwájú ilé ẹ̀ kọ́mọ tà. Abin da na ce ne wai idan ma ko ruwa ne pure water sa a gaban gidanki ki fara saidawa. I
Mm-hmm.
find some people being so stupid, saying, I have a degree, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry for you. You have to start thinking and don't care about what anybody says. Sometimes Yoruba will say, Inu egbin Latin ro. Inu egbin Latin ro means a chicken dirty ni ati samu kudi.
Actually.
Sometimes Dangote has everything, right? He does every business. Where did he start from? So you have to start thinking. Don't just think, oh, I went to school, I have a bunch of degrees, so I cannot do this. My dear, wake up and do not raise your kids with that mindset. Send your kids to
Mm-hmm.
school, but at the same time, have them learn a trade or
Of
something
course,
else to have as a backup. Start
of
giving them
course,
that mindset. You know, do not
of
just
course,
think, okay, in one box. Anything can happen.
of
And if
course.
you have a billionaire as a husband, it's okay to have your husband feed you, do everything. I used to be a woman who would say, help your husband 100%, do this, do that. But coming in to read lots from my platform, I read a lot every day now. And I'll tell you
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of men take advantage of women who help them. Good women who help them. They look at you like you're a fool, you're a mumu. So now I do not blame women. I used to blame women that don't help men. But now I kind of like reason why, because there are some men who take advantage of these good women that think maybe they is part of desperation or whatever. No. Some people were raised in love and some people were raised in survival. So when you meet people raised in love, they don't care about what they are putting in. They put in their all
Mm-hmm.
because they believe you're supposed to grow together. But when you go and jam a crazy person that was raised in survival, all he or she is thinking about is what can I get? What is in for me? Who comes
Of
into a
course.
marriage thinking about a divorce? Trust me, now there have been people and cases where people have planned their divorce even when they're getting married. So do
Of
not be
course.
shocked. Do not be surprised. I will tell you now, I'm not trying to scare you, and we're not here to break anybody's marriage, but that husband of yours, that wife of yours, might be your worst enemy. Quote me anywhere. So be careful who you get married to. Sometimes you can be very careful and still end up with crazy people. Just keep praying. And sometimes God keeps these crazy people come into your life because you're destined to help them. But they do not know that you're their helper, and then they lose you, and then they come back door and start begging you. Do not take them back. Move forward. Move forward and be yourself, whether you're a man or a woman. Do not say because of children. I find it difficult sometimes to understand why people would say, oh, there are still things to mend. What are you mending that you have not been able to mend before? So that's all I would say. At the end of the day, it's left to you to decide. It's for me to talk here. And if you like whatever you want to say, say. I'm just giving you advice. So, Philip, do you have any other thing to say? I know you also have the
Yeah.
accounting background, and when we have
Mm,
things that have to do with financial, with your accounting background, what
yeah.
do people do? Because it's not just women, like we said. Some men are not
Mm,
financially able, but I believe
yeah.
with the culture and even religion, a man is expected. There are some expectations. Though some men are now becoming the gold diggers, sorry to say. Most men
Yeah. Of
now
course.
that you find now are gold diggers. That's why you see some people rather be single and continue living their life because they're looking at it already that what is there for him to do anyway? I'm already doing everything for myself and then end up with another gold digger. So now people have to really be careful because before we used to say women are gold diggers. Now, whether we like it or not, we have a lot of lazy men out there who think they're sex toys. You know, to be some people call them gigolo or whatever they call them.
Yeah, of
And
course.
that's how they see themselves, unfortunately, now, which is a nuisance to the society. So men need to start thinking, or you need to start raising your children, both men and women, because in the African culture, I would say mostly, a woman is prepared for marriage and a man is not. So it's
Not
high
yeah.
time parents start teaching both. And if people want to open a center whereby they can educate both male child and the girl child. That would be great. And that can save lots of marriages. Thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely, you are right, Excellency. You know, in this part of the world, concentration, attention is given to the girl child, but most times the boy child is being neglected. And this is the boy child that will grow up someday and become an adult, and it gradually becomes a nuisance to the society. So for me, I think the same attention that is given to a girl child should be given to the boy child, so that because the boy child will be the husband of a girl child someday, and issues will come. So one of my concern, I feel that which you have raised, without a job, irrespective of the challenges, there is something you can always do. There's always that thing you can do, even
Absolutely.
if it,
No man,
even
I would say right now, I
no
don't
man,
see why
yes,
any reason why any man should be going into any relationship without looking for a job. I'm
of
sorry.
course,
Go fix
of course,
yourself before you start
of
looking for a
course,
relationship.
of course, of course. For me, the one of the
And for the
criteria.
women too, don't just be a liability.
Mm-hmm,
Be somebody
mm-hmm,
that could be empowered to not be a liability. Like Favor said,
mm,
once you're a liability, they toss you with everything. Even when you are
of
not a
course.
liability, you find that some men come from cultures where their
Mm-hmm,
mothers worship their fathers, and that is all
yeah.
they've seen. I don't want to call the culture, but there is a particular culture in Nigeria where men usually look at it like their mother went through this for their father, so you have to go through the same shit.
Mm.
Don't
You
be
are
like
right.
that.
You are right.
No matter how good you are, they're not gonna be okay with you. Even when they say it's a riba, Iteriba is when you're submissive. No matter how
Mm.
submissive you are, they'll drive you crazy. That you'll be wondering what the heck is going on here. People like that were not brought up in the proper way, so they would always gaslight you. So let's wrap it up with Philip so we can bring in Shaya. Philip, tell us the last thing you need to say, and you
Well,
can go.
I think for me, apart from job, I want to encourage both everybody, both men and women, learn a skill. Is very key. Learn a skill, and I would thank God we are in the era of we are in the era of digital skills. There are thousands of skills you can actually learn that can actually help you to be financially stable. There are a lot of things you can do to be financially stable right now. So, in order for you to stay away from abuses and increase your worth, learn to be financially stable. Learn a skill. There are digital skills you can learn. There are a lot of digital skills you can learn that can make you be independent. Okay, and I the situation we're having in our these days right now is that even the parents of this girl child, the parents of the women that are married, even when they report to their parents that they are going through abuses, their parents will ask them, say, just stay there. There is no longer space for you in the house. Don't come back to the house. There's no longer space for you. And it's possible maybe the parents are even very poor, and the man are being the one taking care of the parents and everything. So he's their
Sometimes the
benefactor.
parents are not poor. You might be surprised to find out that rich parents will tell you to stay sometimes because probably they've never had a case of divorce and they don't want that
Mhm.
stigma to come to the family.
Of
So
course, of course.
it both ways.
Yeah, in both ways actually. In both ways actually. Okay, so this is that my advice for anybody going through the abuses in marriage, my advice to that person, please just take a walk away. It does not worth it. You does not worth it. You die in a marriage, you die in that relationship. Just walk away. So it is better you face the stigmatization. It's better you face the abuses than to end up in the grave. It's better. So for me, my advice is that when it becomes so toxic, when there's a threat to life, when there's a threat to your health, just take a walk for a time. Just take a walk for a time. It is possible it may work tomorrow. It is possible you can actually take you guys can come back. But my own advice is that when the relationship becoming so toxic and there's a threat to life, just have a break. Just have a break, and then possibly come back again when everything is normalized. But within that break, make sure you empower yourself, work on
When
yourself,
you say
equip yourself.
abuse,
Yeah,
sometimes abusers don't change.
of course,
So be guarded when you're advising people because some do not
of
change.
course, of
They will
course.
beg you, they will lie down on the floor, they will
Mm-hmm.
they can lick the floor you step on, but the next
Mm-hmm.
minute you're not agreeing to what they just said, they can get up and slap you back again.
Of course,
Or
of course.
someone would use emotional abuse or financial abuse. So
Mm-hmm.
some are abusers through financial. Some came into
Mm-hmm.
to steal from you, and some are
Okay.
maybe physical abusers, or some are emotional
Mm.
abusers. So it's not only you being abused through that man because he has money. Some
Of
is the
course,
woman that has money that the man is abusing financially because he's taking your money. And when he
of
cannot
course,
get it anymore, then you become useless to him. So be
of
careful
course,
what
of course,
you go through with. All right,
of course.
Philip, thank you very much for
Thank
being
you
on
very much.
tonight's show. And you have a
Appreciate.
wonderful birthday. And thank you, and
Thank
God
you.
bless you. So we're going to have
Uh,
um, ASP Ishaya to come on now on the YouTube to join us. Thank you so much. You can log off
all right,
now. Have a
all right. Thank you
wonderful
very much.
day.
Hey,
Thank you.
thank you. You too. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks everyone that has been here. If you've not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, kindly subscribe. And if you've not given us a thumbs up, do feel free to do so if you'd like. And if you've not followed us on Facebook and other platforms, feel to follow us on all our platforms. And we will be having the Amina Jimoh Foundation launch in Abuja on July 12th by the special grace of God Almighty, because that's the foundation here. And you're all invited. So Ishaya is who we're waiting for right now. Let me just see. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm just waiting for Ishaya to come up. It's been a long day for you guys, but I bet it's good information that you guys are getting from here. Zainab said, before walking away, try going for marriage counseling. Absolutely, and therapy. That's a wonderful one. When all else fails, please take a bow and walk away. Absolutely. That's my baddest coordinator in Kaduna and Kogi State. She said, you need to walk away. All right, we have ASP Shire right now, the baddest senior security expert at the Amina Jimoh Foundation. And he just joined in right now. So let's see what YouTube has for us. So far, so good. We've been doing well tonight with the network. Wonderful. Welcome, ASP Shire. Can you kindly introduce yourself again?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ma, for the opportunity. I'm ASP Shai Yusuf, the Safety and Security Officer for the Amina Jimoh Foundation. I'm a service with Nigerian Police Force. So hopefully I'll be here on this show. Thank you so much. I've done a lot already, and I'll be building on what they've done. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can go ahead and educate us about the adult safeguarding for tonight.
Much. So I've followed up what the doctor has said, Mr. Philip has said also, and I'll say actually they've done justice to this already. But shedding more light on what they, I'll be coming in with the criminal cases. I'll just be talking more on the security aspect of adulting safeguarding. So as the main reason why we're here is to create awareness, whatever the adult is facing, and how to ensure the adult as a whole is being safe from harm and free from any other vices that can endanger the global world every day becoming full of sin, full of events that most of the times just put us at the point of come on, what's going on in this world, what's going on here and there. But we should be able country, every continent has its own peculiar kind of, let me say, kind of events that happen, kind of crimes that happen to the adults. All right. Now we already know what per se in our own African setting. Often we have cases where we tag as cultural stuff that we always come up with. But lately, the African setting outshines in coming into the issue of crimes that happen in adulting, where we have the police stations issue of the various type of abuses we see, the physical, emotional, financial especially. We tend to have such cases coming up often. I keep wondering what's actually really happening. Mr. Philip was even emphasizing about the the he was talking about more of the domestic violence. Same thing that the doctor said. Yes, I recently recorded the case through my cosmic here, where a woman, middle of the night, she had with the husband, and all he chased her and used pistol and mortar, and he broke her head in the middle of the night, and she came up to report the thing, And at the end of the day, advices came to her. Why can't you just take a walk for now, go back to your people, sort things out? But some of these women actually, the financial constraint they have at the moment. She keep talking about where will she get the next meal from, where will she get the next comfort from, where will she get the next shelter from. So it's actually alarming to see such things day by this is whereby adults, especially now, is becoming a trend, especially in our own side of the country here. It's becoming a trend where you keep hearing youth for ritual, youth being used for so many cities. But
And
boasting that you keep
I'll come in there. Yorubas will say ojukokoro. Hausa will say kwadei, longer throat. Some
yeah,
people, I'm sorry to use that word, but some people, it's because of all this ijekuje. You will see girls that have not even eaten, will be looking for 500,000 naira hair that somebody that is working can never afford. At the end of the day, they will end up with these foolish Yahoo boys, and then they will use them for rituals. So I'm not saying that some do not innocently get these guys. Some people are innocent, they come across these guys, but some are not. So you guys have to be careful. He just talked about that, and I had to chip in because I've a lot of stupid cases whereby that's what happens. Thank you. Dr. Cynthia said big fish. Nah, really big fish. My UK doctor, she's like big fish. Absolutely. They find a big fish. At the end of the day, they use them as the fish because they will use them for ritual. Another girl will come and enjoy their, some will use your pata name, panke, or is it kampe or what? Is that the Hausa call it? I hope I'm saying it right, Shaya. They'll use your underpants. I've seen a lot of crazy shit on this platform, heard a lot of things that I'm like, whoa. I don't used to believe in there's diabolic things, but oh boy. Amina Jimoh Show exposed me to a lot. When you are saying there's no spiritual, you have to go sit back and think and rethink. No matter how prayerful you are, sometimes you come across crazy people. Just continue praying and also be guarded. So I'll let you continue talking, but I just wanted to put some spice into it.
all right, thank you. So on that, you keep seeing what happened whole team. You hear today a will come up and is a Yahoo boy coming up just take body part. Out just for quest. So when you trace through investigation, you wonder why those ladies or why the guys are into this kind of actions. So with this help of this show, we're just enlightening people to understand that by all means, for the, basically many people are many people abuse us financially, and my like this people will want to just play trick on you to financial state money from you by all means, which is very common in youth. So we are enlightening everybody to just understand that we should be people are always trying to as they're doing it when you're smart, know when they're coming, know what they're trying to. That's where it comes to where you ask questions, open your mind to stories, to hear people talk. And such people that are being victims, I think one thing that is actually them is the aspect that they are people are being victimized, but they're always being silent. You have to force to talk, whereby to tell you the real event. Somebody can come up about a case about him defrauded, but he won't want to tell you the full story because at a point into that.
Because sometimes they feel if I say this, people will look at me as a fool that why did I let this happen to me? And that's why people
Yeah.
get silent. That I don't want my story out there because I don't want people to think I'm a fool or I've been
Yeah.
through this. So with our platform, what we do is lots of times we do not put your names down there. Some people would say, put my name, I don't care, or they would even send a voice note and say, play. Some people have been on the live show. And I'm giving a big shout out to men right now on the Amina Jimoh platform because they're speaking up. Because all that stigmatization of a man is supposed to be this strong and that, they're not looking at it. There have been a time where I've been on a live show talking about one of my wonderful Nigerian men, and he was like, please don't say it's me. This is a very top guy who has a dealership. There was a day he closed down his dealership. He said, I'm dedicating this day for you. Nobody's opening the store today because you freed me. Because I feel when I spoke to you, I just felt relief that you're a healer. So probably I'm a healer. Maybe God sent me to heal him. But all he did that day was magical. He came on the live show and I was like, you're not supposed to be showing, just like Ishaya was showing right now. And he's like, no, I want to own up my stories. Okay. And I was shocked. So see, sometimes when you listen to people and they know you're for them, there's a difference from listening and listening. You might be talking to an asshole, sorry to use that word, who is waiting for you to be done to carry your story all around. And there's another difference from another person who would empathize with you. Empathy. That's where you put yourself in that person's shoe. You don't have to fucking go through things before you start thinking. Don't say it's not going to happen to me. You're not God. It can happen to any one of us. I've seen the smartest men, smartest women that will come up here and teach you about this shit, but they're going through it. Believe it or not, they teach about these things every day, but they go back to their perpetrators because some of them are looking for exit plan, and some of them is their families that are keeping them in there, and some of them don't just have the confidence to leave, and some of them, because of some idiots that enable this shit, they remain there because they will say, if you leave, we wouldn't be your friend. So they start looking at that. Because believe you or me, some people disconnect from you when you're no longer married sometimes. Or some would even connect with you when you're no longer married and start telling you have a better life than them. So it's vice versa. Some would look at you and be like, whoa, I don't see, you don't even need a man or you don't need a woman. So be guarded when you have people around you. When they advise you, use your brain sometimes too. I'll let ASC Shire continue talking. I just wanted to put in a little bit of that.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Always feel free to open up. Actually, we see a lot. You've been abused, and you feel free to open up to people whom you feel they will help out, not just everybody passive.
Absolutely. There's a difference from somebody helping, and there's a difference from somebody won't pay when you alaruka. Alaruka, when they say it doesn't make abuse. Newscaster, they'll just talk about you. That's what they do for living. They don't help you, but they make your case worse. Dr. Cynthia said, not all that glitters is gold. Open communication is key. Openness and seeking help is key. Absolutely. I know it's difficult, but tonight, I'm begging you, if you have been abused, go into the shower. If it's a cold shower you like, take it. If it's a warm one, hot one, take it. If you like music, put it on and think and go back on your knees. If you're a Christian or a Muslim, whatever I'm not here to advocate for religion, but I'm telling you that I believe in God. And that's what I'm taking you back to. I know we've been saying, people will say, go and pray. That's not the kind of prayer I'm telling you. I'm telling you, pray. There's a prayer I always say that God should take away whatever is not mine. I don't care whatever it is. And wallahi, 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 wallahi is like swearing to God. I have been blessed. Sometimes you might see it as, oh, what is going on in my life? But it's a blessing in disguise. So take that prayer back tonight. If you can do it, if you're willing to go through things, sometimes you will thank your God because doors will open for you. Go ahead, Shaya.
Lately, issue of new. I want to actually throw more light on this because on this adult safeguarding, personally, on your own part, you have to ensure you are on put measures by your, not giving room to let things complicated. Having a going naked with somebody or your boyfriend, girlfriend, stuff like that. You know, at the end of the day, when the relationship goes sour, you keep seeing the boy or the girl uploading the other partners, telling such persons, they just tend to always dance to the tune of the so that they won't they won't lose their status per se in the society and lose their dignity. Already been done. One, I know sometimes it always feel like it's difficult to speak out, but just know down there that there are ears for you that you can come
If
up
they
and talk.
threaten you, well, I don't see a reason why you should be sending nudes to someone. In the first instance, there have been husbands telling their wife, oh, let's do this so when you are not here, I can view. Never do that. Never in your life do that. You don't know what might happen tomorrow. That same
Yeah.
husband that says he loves you, that same wife that says they love you, it's when you divorce that you actually know people. You don't know people when you're together. You see their madness and craziness. You do not want to involve with a crazy bastard because they would finish you. But if you happen to come in contact with a crazy person and you've already sent your nude, my advice to you is to face that bastard and tell him or her that they should go ahead and expose it. Don't give them money because they will keep telling you to send them money. So
Yeah.
don't even start that. Go and report to the authorities right away.
Yeah. So that's why we always always never naked in front of camera. So basically, of the authorities now, I would just want to on how you can go about like so many these NGOs are up there. The the court is there for you. You know, the police always answer cases as aspect. We don't interfere on civil cases most of the times because those cases are made for the court. The police can only guide you on how to go about it and they, but we don't always. At most, we can actually try to settle you at the beginning. Then once it's not going the way it is, then you send it to court. When you encounter
Let
domestic,
me add to that before I forget. If you have a case going on, if abuse is going on, find the power to call right away. Because if you don't have evidence, OT law, I'm sorry, the person will deny it for the rest of your life, and the court cannot do anything if there's no evidence, and the police cannot do anything. So please find the courage to call at that point. Even if your family is telling you is the father of your children or the mother of your children, please, whatever you do not report and they don't have the documentation or the history of the abuse, is going to affect your case because that abuser will get free on the street. And guess what? They will continue abusing or they will go back to another person acting like they are normal. They are not normal. Yours will come soon too. So go ahead.
All right. So thank you very much. So basically, when you encounter such cases, especially issue of domestic violence, which is very common, domestic fraud aspect, feel free always call ahead and report because it's inflicting injury really not accepted by anybody. Feel free to lay your complaint. Investigation will go on and itself. How far it will go. God will help you have a good result at Lauren. So
Yeah. And it's already midnight in UK and Nigeria and South Africa. So we're just gonna wrap it up soon.
ensure doing everything to ensure there's that for us to just have more how we could take measures to safeguard ourselves first around us. It's not just about abilities also. They face chronic needs because of their one or two challenges they are facing. So please, we always encourage to always, by all means, try to first.
Try to save yourself before you save someone. And like we said, we put a disclaimer out here, but at the same time, if you are being abused, be careful. Abusers can snap at any goddamn time. So for people who say, why didn't you leave? Sometimes you have to be careful leaving too. So we're not advising you to just jump out of the door. Be careful. You know this person more than we do. So be careful and may the Almighty God be with all of us. Thank you so much, ASP Shaya, the
Thank you,
wonderful
ma'am.
senior safety security at the Amina Jimoh Foundation and the Adamawa State coordinator for the Amina Jimoh Foundation, the Amina Jimoh Foundation Gombe State coordinator, and Ajay's security staff. Thank you so much and God bless you. And you have a lovely night.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye. So, everyone, thank you so much for coming in, and you all have a lovely night.
Are you looking for a way to make a difference? Join the Amina Jimoh Foundation. We are an international organization, humanitarian at heart, with a focus on life issues that make a fresh start. From empowering communities to fostering development, we are dedicated to making a positive impact, carrying walls for clean water for all. Amina, do you get for Are you